we just had our first sit in the deer woods of the year, and a couple new developments back there. So I saw 3 small bucks. Boy, they were on me before I knew it though. I didn't hear them. They came up on a dirt path on the neighboring property where they'd been logged out. So there's a lot of really clear paths that are just dirt, so deer can walk up real silent on them, quick travel paths. And had 2 of them right on top of me before I even could get an arrow drawn, before I could stand up to get ready. And so I just kind of sat and watched them, and I had this little 4-point that just did not want to leave me alone. You could tell he kind of had me busted, but he wasn't really sure about me. So he hung out around for a little bit, and I saw another small buck come out of the creek bed to meet him, and a lot of posturing, a little bit of sparring. Ran off the buck that had kind of tried to bust me, but didn't really bust me. And that was the conclusion of all the deer that I saw today. So the property that butts up to my mom and dad's property recently sold, so there are new neighbors on that property, and I did figure they'd probably put up a deer stand, and they did, which isn't uncommon in this area. I just didn't think they'd put it 50 yards from one of our stands, which is fine. That's their property. They can do whatever they want, but then it just adds a lot of pressure. And we haven't really spoken with the new property owners, so I probably need to get in touch with them about recovery rights and recovery rights for them, because if they shoot anything, it comes onto our property. Technically, by law, they're supposed to ask us before they come onto our property to recover the deer, and vice versa. So yeah, a lot of action back there. There's a lot of good deer sign. I came across an active scrape that's actually right in our pathway to get to the stand. There are a lot of antler rubbed trees, so there's a lot of bark and scraping that's been done where bucks are kind of marking their territory, but probably also in early season. That's how they remove the velvet off of their antlers. So we've got a lot of new deer sign, but it does look like that pressure that I was talking about from a new stand being put in is already kind of showing its ugly little head, because it looks like a lot of deer are moving behind our stand in cover. So I might take out my self climber next time and go from there and see if maybe we can look into the deer pattern. But other than that, the deer patterns are still kind of settling. Whenever there's anything new in the environment, like windstorms, down trees, anything like that, a new stand, a new large shiny metal stand can kind of change the deer's pattern, because they know that that's not normal, and they're just very cautious creatures, which is why they're incredibly difficult to hunt sometimes. It's day 2 of gun season. We came out yesterday. It's windy just like it is right now. But I'm pretty sure I just put something in our freezer. It's not a buck, it's a doe. Nice heavy meated doe. So I'm giving her about 20 minutes to make sure she's done, because she went into some weeds over here, and I heard her go down. I saw her thrash, so I'm pretty sure she's down. I'd say I'll probably put one right through lungs and heart. So it's always a rush. And we needed this. We don't have hardly any deer left in the freezer. Right now we've just got chickens and ducks from the farm, and we need a little extra red meat in there. So I'm gonna get ready to get down and go do some tracking and see if we've got her down over there. I found her. Almost no blood trail, and I'm not sure how. You think dragging a deer out would be easy. It's not. It's a lot of dead weight. Gravity can manipulate. But you can see, got us a nice sized doe, so hopefully she'll do us some good. Get in our freezer, and took her 30-06. But it looks like from the trajectory, I hit her right where I wanted to, but the angle, probably should aim just a tad bit higher. Blew out the heart. almost no blood trail. It's the weirdest thing. I took out the bottom of the rib cage, so she had a pretty big gaping wound. I found bits of bone. That was the only thing I found down on her trail. Luckily I'd seen where she went, but it's always good practice, even if you've seen animals down, to go where you've shot it and to try to track from there. It's always good to have good tracking skills. And luckily she did run right up a deer trail and went up on the top of the ridge and just killed over. So pretty quick. She was dead on the hoof. She was dead on the run and didn't even know it. Just very thankful. I am so thankful for this kill. Very thankful for meat in my freezer at the sacrifice of this animal. It's not a small thing, taking a life. Kind of gets me every time, but it's what we have to do to survive. And it's also herd management. I know everybody comes out looking for bucks because bucks can breed lots and lots of does and cause a population problem, but you still need a cull does to keep your herd healthy. And she's a big mature doe, so hopefully she will feed us going into the winter and maybe come out and get another one, and we should be good until this time next year. And in true deer season fashion, it is now, it's snowing. Got our first snow. That's my sister Katie. She helped me drag out and maneuver. Mark just got here. We're getting ready to tag her, take her to the processor, and then come back and get dressed for church and go to church. But she's gonna put a good dent in our freezer. Just really thankful that we were able to put something in our freezer this year, because we were kind of worried we weren't going to get to. You know, I think a lot of people, the general public, have this misconception of what a hunter is. They think hunter, and they've already got this preconceived notion that we're running around out here full camo, blaze orange, guns, bows and arrows, and that we are just slaughtering anything that comes by our stand. And that's not what conservation is about, and that's not what a good hunter does. I've hoped that in the last 2 seasons, as I've brought you guys along with me, that you can see that it's more conservation and herd management and self-sustainability and being self-sufficient and living off of the land. It's a connection and a oneness with nature. It's knowing where my food came from. It's knowing how it was harvested. It's knowing in what manner it was treated and honored in its last moments, that it was an ethical kill, that we honor the animal by using every piece, every scrap that we can from it. Because if we do anything else, it's total sacrilege for that animal. It's total sacrilege for the environment that we're in to not honor and use an animal that we've harvested and that sacrificed its life for us to be sustained. It's just a oneness. And I know that there will always be that bad apple that proves how people might initially see a hunter. And I really can't do a whole lot about that. I really can't do a whole lot about how people act on their own, but I do know a large amount of hunters that are like Mark and I. This is what feeds their family. They try to honor the environment as we step into it and become one with it and ask for it to provide for us, to sacrifice a being so that we can go on living and so that we can be sustained. But at least we did put one doe in the freezer. She was a nice big doe. I'm hoping for one more. But if this is all that I get, we have ducks and chickens on the farm. We have goats. We will be able to be self-sufficient and put things in our freezer if we need to in the future. So guys, I hope that you've enjoyed coming along with me for multiple sits in the deer wood. And even though we didn't see a whole lot, we've only harvested one so far this year. I sure hope that you've enjoyed seeing a bit of that lifestyle when it comes to us harvesting a deer so that we can have meat in our freezer. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you're all being kind to one another out there and staying safe. We're going to catch you in the next one. God bless y'all.